welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the doing what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we are going to be recapping everything that happened last night on Friday Night Smackdown. So much went down. It was such a great show. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's get right into the opening segment with LA Knight, our US champ. I gotta say, the crowd last night in Barcelona was absolutely overwhelmingly loud, but in a good way. It wasn't bad at all. They made LA Knight truly sound like the biggest star to ever walk the face of this planet. I mean, it was just, they wouldn't let him speak. Like, they were so loud. And, you know, because they're soccer fans over there, they were going, ole, 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 whatever. It was like a whole thing, and it was just so great. I love international crowds so much. Dare I say little louder than France? Maybe? I don't know. If you guys remember Backlash last year in France, I mean, they were another breed, okay? And I don't know, Barcelona gave them a run for their money. But let's get into what LA Knight had to say. So he was basically talking about how last night made history since it was the first ever SmackDown in Barcelona. He said not only is he the US champ, but he's worldwide. And that made me laugh because it made me think of Pitbull, like Mr. Worldwide. I don't know why it made me laugh. And so then, you know, he started talking about how the U.S. championship is back in the correct hands, blah, blah, blah. And before he could even continue, Jimmy Uso interrupts. And he came out to basically say that he's not out there to congratulate LA Knight. And he said that he's desperate. He's tired of all the roadblocks that have come in his way in the past. And he said the only way to get to WrestleMania is by getting a title shot. But of course, he has jealous brothers and cousins. So they came out. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu came out. And so Solo got on the mic and said that if anyone deserved the title shot, it's Jacob Fatu. Of course, that didn't sit well with Jimmy and LA and everybody, so they all started fighting each other. But of course, the numbers game. So Braun Strowman came out to then kind of just attack everybody, and then it was just madness. So then Nick Aldis came out, of course. Who else would come out? And he made the match official. That it was going to be a 6-man tag match right after this. So, of course, what happens? Let's talk about the 6-man tag. So we had the Bloodline 2.0 versus LA Knight, Braun Strowman, and Jimmy Uso. It was a great match. I do have to say, this was a very close second to my favorite match of the night. And I just have to say, also, like, SmackDown's men's mid-card division, in my opinion, is 10 times better than the main card division, if you will. Like, I truly enjoy everybody there 1,000 times more than I do the bigger guys on the show, if you know what I mean, like the bigger stars. I mean, there were so many incredible spots and moments that truly left no room for boredom. I just love watching them wrestle. But in the end, LA Knight, Braun Strowman, and Jimmy Uso won. But of course, the Bloodline 2.0 just had to attack after because they're sore losers. And they have losing issues. And so Jacob Fatu went off and became like a human wrecking ball. It was crazy. It was overwhelming. But after that, we got a little recap from last week with Bianca and Naomi's conversation. Then Kathy Kelly interviewed Jade Cargill in like a video segment. So Jade said that physically she is ready to go. She said all she could recall from the attack was that she got hit in the head, pushed into the car in the dark, and all she saw was Naomi run away. She said once Naomi tagged with Bianca after she did that to her and acted like nothing ever happened, that was the moment she knew she needed to go after her. Then the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, interrupted, and Liv said that she's pissed that her and Raquel have been blamed because of Jade. Liv was being so unserious the entire time, and I was cackling. Like, this girl is funny, okay? But then Jade said that next week she wants to take on Liv one-on-one, which, hello, I am so seated. Are we literally comprehending this match right now? Like, Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill. What the freak? This is going to be crazy. Then before walking away, Liv Morgan absolutely clocked Jade Cargill and said this quote, "How about you don't get pushed into cars between now and then?" What? She cooked. I was wheezing when she said that. I thought it was so funny. Then we had Charlotte Flair versus B-Fab. It was a pretty good match, but honestly, kind of pointless, to be honest. Like, there was no real storyline, no purpose. It was just like one of those really random matches. But of course, they needed something for Tiffany to come out. So Tiffany Stratton came out, our WWE Women's Champion, and she finally showed the aggression I've been asking for. If you guys have been keeping up with my SmackDown recap episodes every week, you would know that I've been asking for Tiffany Stratton to just please show aggression towards Charlotte Flair, because it's been the other way around. And as champion, to be taken as a serious competitor, Tiffany needs to show that aggression. So her and Charlotte were going at it despite security trying to separate them. Tiffany did the prettiest moonsault ever off the top rope into the crowd, or sorry, not into the crowd, onto Charlotte and all the security outside the ring. And moves like that show that she's a big time player. She also did it off the top of the Titantron, like kind of like where the entrance is. Although she accidentally completely missed Charlotte, so she's been doing that a lot recently, where she like miscalculates or overshoots her aim, if you will. I don't know if aim is the right word, but like she just doesn't jump in the correct spot, if you will. Like Charlotte was all the way to the right and she jumped to the left to do the prettiest moonsault ever. And I was like, okay, girly pop, what are we doing? Anyways, then we had an episode of Ms. TV with Cody Rhodes as a special guest, but it didn't last very long. It was giving filler, but I don't know. It was interesting. So Miz cut off Cody's entrance right before the whoa. And so, of course, Cody got pissed. And so he hit the Miz and took over the show. Cody Rhodes said that the only person he wants to talk to is John Cena. And he called him out for next week's Monday Night Raw, which he was already scheduled to be at. So I think that that's going to be so good, so interesting. I'm so intrigued to see what's going to happen. And if John Cena is going to be there, does that mean The Rock shows up too? I don't know. All right, let's talk about one of the two mystery guy video teasers that we got. So we got a video of, it was like orange, and it was like a silhouette of a luchador in a ring, moving around a little bit. And obviously, I feel like we all know who this is, Rey Fenix, which for those who don't watch AEW, Rey Fenix is Penta's brother, IRL. Like, they are brothers in real life, and when Penta was still in AEW, they were the Lucha Brothers together. So if we are getting Rey Fenix and Penta in WWE as the Lucha Brothers, I'm going to lose my mind, and I cannot wait. So that's who I think is absolutely this first video package. I will talk about the second one later because it's in a couple segments, but if this is the beginning of Rey Fenix, I'm very excited. I don't know if it has anything to do with like that Chad Gable stuff I had mentioned on Monday's recap a couple days ago, but I'm very intrigued to see where we go from here. All right, so next we got Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This was a pretty good match, to be honest. I mean, a couple cool spots, but overall nothing like out of this world. It was just like a decent match. Then, of course, Drew McIntyre interferes to cost Damian the match, and they all start going at it. I love the storyline they're building between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest now, and I really hope it leads to a big match at WrestleMania. All right, then we had Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. This was a great match. I honestly didn't expect these two to work so well in the ring together the way that they did. It was such a fun and enjoyable match, like truly, with Melo's quickness and Randy's quick reversals. I mean, it was awesome spot after spot. And in the end, Randy Orton won. And honestly, I want to go back and rewatch it because it was just that good. All right, now we could talk about the second mystery guy video teaser situation. Now, this one was a completely different vibe. This was giving Aleister Black. And obviously, we know that he's no longer with AEW. and he's most likely making his way over to WWE. We all know his wife, Zelina Vega, obviously still works there. And I don't know, it was giving spooky. If you guys if you guys watch AEW and remember like House of Black days, like it was giving that energy. But the number 4 came up in the video, so I don't exactly know what that means. I know Aleister Black is suspected to be the new Judgment Day member, which I really hope happens because I feel like that would be so good. But let's transition into a Gunther segment. So Gunther said the real reason that he's here is to prove a point. He said once the bell rings at WrestleMania, yeet means nothing. Then he decided to call out Spain's own one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Axiom. Hello? If you guys have been following along my NXT recaps the past couple months, and if you've just been following me for years in general, you would know that Axiom has always been one of my favorite NXT superstars. So to get to see him have a moment on the main roster, represent NXT, represent his home country was so special. So then we had Gunther versus Axiom, which low-key was a banger, okay? And if you watch NXT, then you already know how good Axiom is. So this match was nothing short of great. Now, I do have to say, Gunther did dominate a lot of this match towards Axiom, but I still thought Axiom took what he was given and maximized the minute. Truly, he stood out so much in my opinion, but in the end, Gunther won and Gunther attacked Axiom after the match per usual. But unfortunately, Jey Uso didn't come out for the save because I feel like we were all expecting that, and I would have loved to hear Barcelona yeet, but you know what? There's always a next time. All right, let's talk about the Paul Heyman segment, which was pretty good. He said that today, and if I say today, I mean yesterday. He said today is Roman Reigns Day because WWE 2K25 came out, and obviously Roman Reigns was on the cover. He said that there are some people in this world that have an issue with the fact that it's Roman Reigns Day, and one of them being CM Punk. Then he said it will never be CM Punk Day or Seth Rollins Day. Then he kind of closed off that little segment to announce that Roman Reigns will be on SmackDown next week in Bologna, Italy, if that's how you say it. I believe so. He'll be in Italy next week for SmackDown, which is so exciting because obviously anything can happen. So very excited. Next week we are going to be fed so nicely. But let's head into the main event because this match was so good. So this was for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We had DIY versus the Street Profits. Fantastic match. I mean, those 4 men were absolutely phenomenal in that ring and meshed so well together. And I just have to say, both teams truly do deserve that gold. But plot twist, in the end, the Street Profits won and now are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. And I mean, as much as you guys know how much I love DIY, they're my favorite tag team. The Profits really deserve this, and I couldn't be more happy for them. I'm just so excited to see where this next chapter in their story takes them. I really do think they're going to be such a dominant part of the SmackDown men's tag team division, which is another division I'm obsessed with. So very happy for them. I believe they deserve this so much. All right, let's head into my overall thoughts on the show. I thought it was a pretty good show. I mean, SmackDown progressively gets better every single week, and last night was no exception. Now, my match of the night, of course, was none other than the main event for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The action was unmatched, and it was such a phenomenal showcase for both teams, and to have the Street Profits win at the end was just so incredible, and I enjoyed it so much. My segment of the night, hands down, was the opening segment with LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, Bloodline 2.0, Braun Strowman, all of those guys. Not only was the crowd insanely loud, which added to kind of the entire ambiance of the segment, but I truly, truly love the SmackDown's men's mid-card division, whatever I said earlier. I mean, it's just so good, and I love anytime I get to see those guys because they are just so great. Overall, I'd rate the show a solid 8 out of 10. very high rating for SmackDown. And I'm looking forward to continuing the road to WrestleMania, which I believe now is 35 days away, if I'm not mistaken. That's very freaking close. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that on my YouTube channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can head over to my YouTube channel because I just posted a video yesterday of me playing WWE 2K25 for the very first time. I toured the entire game, reacted to the full roster. I played a 1v1 match, which was so freaking funny. And that won't be the last of 2K you'll see on my channel. I'm going to be doing so many more live streams. I'm going to be doing so many more videos, and it's just going to be so much fun on top of all of the content I already post. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Make sure to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!